with eye primer, really loving this one, but even though it's nice and transparent, I still make sure that I take my time and even that out across the lid. It's kind of make the biggest difference. Let's start here, and I'm using the E28 for this. It is perfect to kind of start out your eye look. Anytime I know that I'm going to use neutrals, I just go ahead and reach for the E28. It's just so perfect for placing. And then I just start to do some taps and I'm already getting an instant transition. Isn't that nice? Picking up more of that same exact shade, and I'm just gonna start to push it into my socket and kind of around it over here. What was that? You kind of wanna see a cut crease? I heard that. So I'm actually gonna hop here, same brush, pick it up on the side, and then just start to tap to transition that as well. These are really nicely pigmented. And I don't know if you noticed this, but this side is a little bit cooler and then this side is a little bit warmer. So I also like that. I'm actually gonna leave it a little willy-nilly like this because I'm gonna take my concealer later and blend this out. It's one of my favorite things to do. So if you're looking there and you're going, oh, don't do that. For one thing, it's gonna hurt my feelings. Another thing is we're gonna come back to it. That's completely normal at this point, because I always like an eyeshadow base that stays wet. That way it actually grips the shadow when I go to place it. But once I set it, think of this as just like setting your under eye. Once you get in here and set all of that, it's absolutely not going to move anymore. Now I'm gonna grab this on the tip of the E28. That way I can just kind of tilt my head back and push it into the front part. And what I'm really feeling for is my socket. And kind of the idea when you're adding dimension is to deepen the darkest part of the socket, but also just a little bit above it. That is going to give us the shape. Now to the darkest shade in the palette. Which one was this one? Yeah, this is the light one. I actually want the next one down as well. Push that into the socket. And just add that depth. I know, it looks atrocious. But hang on. It's all about trusting the process sometimes. So this is a really fun tip. Grab your concealer. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. But you know what? I really wanna even it out because I want it to dry down a little bit. So if you go in with a concealer that's just way too wet, what can happen is it can just become an absolute wet mess on your eye. So give this about 15 seconds of dry down. Now, the next thing that's really important here is we need a fluffy brush because we need the lightest application of this. Also notice I didn't come over here. I'm coming from the side and I'm picking up very small amounts. I'm also making sure that that's very even on the brush. And now I'm just gonna start to tap this. Look at this already. And not only is it kind of melting and blending, but it's melting and blending in your undertone and your skin tone. I'm picking up a little bit more, just being mindful. So you get the most beautiful melt and blend, and you can kind of work on the shape. And then I just feel like it looks tailored exactly for you. Anytime you can add your skin tone and undertone back in, it's just gonna make everything look super melted and perfect. Oh, that's nice. Okay, now let's clean up the lid space. Micellar water, C30. We're gonna clean up our lid space. If you've ever wondered why I put eyeshadow base on just to take it off, first of all, I don't ever really know where my looks are headed. It's a big factor. And second of all, it is a lot easier to just kind of commit and work a little messy than it is to work and try to be mindful. It becomes very, very tedious to kind of just leave all of this bare when we're doing any kind of blending. So that's that's really two of the reasons. All right, that's fun. Back to our eye primer. I had an idea because something came and I wanted to try it. But first, let's get this eyeshadow primer on again. Notice how I'm leaving a certain area blank. You see all that? Still needs evened out. and pushing it out of my lashes. It's okay if a little bit's in there. But then, this is what I was talking about. I just got this. These are from Hard Candy, and these are they call them shadow markers, and this is the black one. It's called Lights Out. We're just gonna place it, ooh, that's nice. Let's go ahead and place it here. Don't worry about all that. Really don't worry about anything at this point. Let's connect it too. I think that's gonna look cool. We're using the Slow Burn Duo, and what I think I want to do is kind of break the seal on these two, just so they're going to pick up really, really nicely. These are so fall. This is so pretty. So I'm going to take the darker one first on the C30. Notice I'm picking up quite a bit, and then I'm just going to start to place it. Oh, that's gorgeous. Let's go ahead and take it into, or I should say up to, where we carved. We're going to take this shade, and that's going to go on the front part of the eye. Delightful. I'm in full fall, festive, holiday mode. And just for some added drama, I'm going to take this black shadow stick again and just kind of add a little bit extra depth just out here. Now, time to tidy over here. Sheila's always standing by. And in case you're wondering, and you might not have any idea what I'm saying, and you might actually be scared, Sheila's just my makeup towel. So I added a little bit of depth just to the very base. It just really makes that wing really intense. And then I'm gonna take this and run it across my waterline. Lily Lashes Self-Adhesive Lashes. This is the style Rule Breaker. Just let them sit there for a second. And also I made sure my mascara was dry because the glue tends to not do well on top of wet mascara. There we go. You'll need to stop me. Now I've got gel liner on an E26, and I thought it'd just be really pretty to kind of mimic what we have back here towards the front a little bit, just a little bit of that extra definition. We're going very graphic today. Oh, look at that precision though. Now I'm just gonna keep blending it until the sparkle goes not quite to the edge, but almost. That's fun. Now I really want to use this foundation because it's one of the most full coverage in my collection. I know, but it's way too orange. It's actually reading a little yellow on camera, but it's definitely more orange. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see what happens here, even though I know what's gonna happen. You probably do too. I always find it very important to have a red blush in my collection. It's a really nice red, by the way. And the reason why is because I like to mix the blue and the red. Yep, that's it's pretty good. So remember, that's where we were, that's where we are. I can pretty much make this. I could tailor it a little bit better, but that's gonna be pretty good, especially once we add our concealer and our bronzer, more blush. But I was saying the red is really important because that red and that blue, let me show you. And when you mix them together, you're gonna get purple, purple-esque. I know people are gonna be like, that's more of a burgundy, and it is. But this type of color really color corrects a lot of that yellow and even more into orange, because a true lavender would be of yellow, but I could go into detail for days on that. Creating a color like this, not only does it neutralize, but it also kind of shifts, and it just makes it where I need it to go. And again, we could tailor it more, but I think that you're getting a really good idea there. Do some concealer. I'm going heavy because I got a heavy eye look on. Why not? We have fun. I'm actually gonna use the D2 because I need a little bit more precision in here. Oh, melty, melty. Take it there. Ben's in a meeting. I also hear the UPS truck, and I'm also hoping that Doug does not hear the UPS truck, but it's a possibility. Take it in here, melty. See, 40.5. I'm gonna do a little bit of sculpting. Even though this is a warmer shade, I'm still getting a little bit of shape. It's not super bronzer mode. And I like, he's so loud on his call. I love him so much. Oh, but look how see 40.5 is just absolutely sculpting. This is actually one of my favorite places to press this. Connect it to the shadow. Look at how nice that looks. Oh, it's so toasty and good. It's not a rose tutorial without this powder anymore. It's always so satisfying to watch it melt in. Brighten. I do like to look up and just kind of wiggle it in there though. Now I'm going to take the shadow stick. And yes, this is actually my left hand. It's just become easier to use both hands at the same time. And then I'm just going to smudge that into my lashes. Then I'm back to this shade and the E29, and I'm just going to smudge and set underneath here. More eye primer. Okay, get that on there. Then I'm going to wipe my brush because I don't want to put that much eye primer in here. That way we don't muddy up the shadow. And then I'm going to connect it here. Then I'm just kind of going to do that same thing, but down here. Now I'm taking powder foundation on the C30, and I'm just going to make sure that this is really nice and tidy. I feel like this color blush is going to be really nice. It's kind of in this realm right here, so I'm going to tie everything together with that. Perfect. Unearthly Cosmetics lip liner. This is the shade Smoke. I feel like it's perfect with this eye. And we'll do Laura Mercier Pink Chiffon lipstick. All right, my friends, this is our finished look. I had no idea where this makeup journey was going to take us, but I like where we ended up. I hope that y'all enjoyed it too. I love you with all of my heart. Thank you for being here with me and playing in makeup with me. All right, I love you. Bye for now.